Hello, everybody. I'm Jeff Michael. Just last month, 2 people were killed when they were struck by a car racing another car in an illegal street race in Chatsworth. Those deaths once again highlighted the dangers of street racing, not just for drivers, but for spectators as well. It's also prompted one LA City leader to call for tougher new laws to crack down on the racers. But despite all of the risks, street racing is as popular as it's ever been. And as Chris Blatchford shows us, that's making it tougher on the police to slow them down.
2 cars, modified for higher racing speeds, line up here on a city street in the San Fernando Valley. It is fast, dangerous, and illegal. But sources close to the street racing scene tell Fox 11 News there are planned races like this one every Wednesday night somewhere in the valley. LAPD officer Frank Bancalari.
If you have illegally modified vehicles or you're involved in any kind of street racing or exhibition of speed or any of that kind of stuff, it is against the law.
Bancalari is part of an LAPD task force designed to stop it all. In the past few months, officers have arrested 23 people for illegal street race gatherings and cited nearly 500 others for driving modified high-performance cars. 50 of those people were repeat offenders.
We really need the public's help. We can't do it by ourselves. This is a very serious issue.
It's a constant cat-and-mouse game for cops. Large groups of racers meet up at shopping centers. Using social media, they are directed to the latest race location. And on public streets, often in industrial parks or wide boulevards in commercial areas, they race. Sometimes there are thousands of dollars in betting money at stake, and also lives.
This past year and this year, we've had numerous deaths because of street racers, so we're out here trying to save lives.
When police show up, there is always a scramble to escape, but the task force believes they are making progress.
We could already see it in the social media. They're talking about us. They want to stay out of the valley.
But it seems always, somewhere else, dozens of spectators still show up, and there is another race. And now City Councilman Mitch Englander says he plans to introduce a new law that would allow police to seize cars that are involved in street racing. Chris Blatchford, Fox 11 News.
All right, as Chris just mentioned, LA City Councilman Mitch Englander is proposing a new ordinance on street racing. Councilman Englander is here to talk about it. Tell us what you have in mind.
Well, you know, first of all, it's amazing. This has been going on for far too long, and they're fast and I'm furious, so we're going to crack down on these.
You got the line down.
I've got the legislation down as well. So what we're going to look at is if you're a spectator, we're going to impound your vehicle. We're going to seize it. If you actually get in an accident that results in great bodily harm, injury, or death, we're going to actually seize, impound, and keep your vehicle and crush it or sell it.
Now, are you talking about a city ordinance, or are you talking about going to Sacramento and getting the assembly?
This would happen here in the city of Los Angeles.
All right, in the city of Los Angeles. Now, you're not the first. I would assume you have studied other cities who have done this. I think Philadelphia does it. I believe Detroit does it.
There are many other cities that have taken a hard approach, but you got to look. We are the epidemic as well as hit and run crimes, not just these kinds of accidents, but 20,000 hit and run crimes last year. It's 48%.
Now, I'm only interrupting you because we'll have a guest on just in a little minute who's going to probably take issue with you lumping hit-and-run drivers in with street racers.
Fair enough. And in fact, the guest is doing a great job as well. He's got some great ideas and solutions.
We'll hear from him.
Yes.
All right.
So the idea, though, is to try to put some teeth in the legislation, some enforcement, try to get people to stop doing it.
Well, but wait a minute. Can you take somebody's car just because they've been arrested for street racing?
You can take somebody's car for bulky item. You can take somebody's car if they're transporting drugs.
Well, that's different. But but are you talking about seizing and confiscating, you know, maybe a $40,000-$50,000 automobile merely because somebody's been arrested? Will you wait for them to get convicted?
No. So they're going to get due process. But what we're talking about is 2 things. Impounding the vehicle for a maximum of 30 days if they're street racing. If the street racing results in great bodily injury or death, then they'd go through due process and we'd seize that vehicle.
Well, now this also went through Chief Beck, and he had a little bit of a problem with it when it came to undocumented immigrants during traffic stops. If an undocumented immigrant was found to not have a driver's license and not be a legal driver, Chief Beck wanted to confiscate or impound the car for 30 days. Organizations came to him and said, wait, you can't do that because this is the only mode of transportation they have. What about in the case of a person
Well, he actually took the opposite approach, and Chief Beck set a policy forth to stop impounding
all right.
because of SB 60 to allow
Right.
folks to get a driver's license, to get insurance, to get training, and get legal. So he took a softer approach to that.
I stand corrected, but the point still remains.
Point still remains. So the idea, though, is we have that in California law now. So we want to seize the vehicles just as an impound, a 30-day impound, if they're spectators or if they're racing. If it results in great bodily injury or death, we want to seize it permanently and either crush it or sell it.
All right, Councilman, now talk to me. I don't know if a lot of people know this, that you're a reserve LAPD officer as well. You've responded to these.
I have.
And
yes.
what do you say to the people who say, come on, Mitch, they're just blowing off some steam, and every once in a while, you know, there's an accident?
Yeah, well, it's beyond that, and it's ruining communities, but it's also ruining lives. And once in a while, where you have an accident, one life is one life too many. You can't put a price on the life.
Yeah.
And so we've got to do something about it. And if you see some of the videos, and you just go on social media and you can see this, it's all over the place.
Sure.
It's gone viral. Some of the things they're doing is just, it's really scary. It needs to be in a controlled environment.
Okay, in fact, you bring up some of the videos. We have another story that we're going to get to in just a minute. When we come back, everybody, we will talk to a man who is pushing to find a safe place for street racers to race, a legal venue. Plus, car enthusiasts meeting up, shutting down freeways and streets. This is what the councilman was talking about. They're called street takeovers. They're springing up throughout the Southland. What's being done to shut these down?